So this is the perfect example of a local authority overstepping their remit. They have no right to examples of work because it doesn't belong to you, it doesn't belong to them, it belongs to your child. So you can't actually legally refuse to send in samples of work. If any of us comply with the local authority overstepping what is legally within their remit, then we're just opening the doors for them to do it more and more. So this is the general stance that the community on a whole tend to advise people. Do not send in examples of your child's work, refuse. Now, as you've said in a previous comment above this one, that you've only just been home educating for a few weeks now, 2 I think you said, wasn't it? In your report, I would focus on the resources you've used so far, from documentaries to movies, educational movies, day trips, and any other resources that you've been using and you can think of. So you want to avoid terms like unschooling and deschooling because the LA don't understand what that means. They think no work takes place. I've just had a massive coughing fit. I don't even know where it came from. Now, a lot of it is about the language you use as well when you're writing these reports. And you can use terms similar to what you would have seen in your school reports when they sent them home on like parents' evening and stuff. You can make anything sound fancy with the right language. So I would just focus on what you intend to do with your daughter, things you have planned as well. You will need to send in that report, but you can ask for a deferment as well if you wish. So you can write back in and say, you've only been home educating for 2 weeks. I will send in this report in, say, 5 or 6 weeks and see where they go with that too. Because with some LAs that does work as well. They will give you that time scale. So that's always my first advice. Write in, try and defer when you're sending the report in. And if not, just focus on those key things. Things that you are doing together. Things that you intend to do together. Places you've been, that kind of thing. Tie it all in nicely. But be careful of the language you use as well. For example, Nimue is currently making fake snow. That's a science experiment and she's playing with it.
Guys, it does not have to be this one. It can be your ordinary one. Just make sure that you have this, and then you can. So you're going to have to put this one in first.
Yeah.
And then you put this in. And then you start mixing it with either a spoon, a fork, or your hands. And then you can get it the right texture, the right things that you want it. And then you can make your own snow.
And that's a lot of kinesthetic learning because she's using her hands. So see the way I use the word kinesthetic there? That is a good selling point when you're filling in your educational reports. She's a very tactile, kinesthetic learning way. So that is how I handle things when I'm writing reports myself. Whereas my eldest daughter was more academic in that respect. She liked to write more and do more academic style learning. Whereas the younger ones are very kinesthetic learners. But you know your child best and you know how she learns best. So you would incorporate that into your report as well. Her learning styles and how you work with those learning styles to facilitate her education. Another one I use with Nimue is discovery learning. So allowing her to try the same thing over and over and over again throughout a play session, because I mean she's only 7, and incorporating that way because that reinforces all the learning, but she gets to develop upon that herself under her own steam. And that is one of the most important ways of younger children learning. I don't know how old your child is, to be honest with you, but if she's one of the older ones as well, like GCSE years, then the advice would be slightly different in that respect. You can still do learning, developmental learning, just obviously age appropriate, because we have to educate to the age, aptitude and ability. But again, that changes child to child. So no one report will ever be the same within the home educating community because our children are all different, and the whole point is to encourage and facilitate an education and learning that is unique to that child. A bespoke education designed around and for them and their needs and abilities. So writing a report is more about the key words that you choose when you're writing that report. It doesn't even have to be pages and pages long as you're getting those keywords in there to show that learning is taking place. If you need more clarity, just let me know. This is just off the cuff while I'm cooking tea. But I hope it helps.